Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates. We're coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. As we've been doing before, we're going to start this evening off with the singing of the United States National Anthem. And I would ask everybody now to please rise for the singing of the anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light that so proudly we hailed, and the twilight's last gleam whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
God bless America. God bless us all. God bless our military. God bless all the world's nations, and I mean that sincerely. This is an international program. This is not just a United States-based program. This is an international program, and I want to ask the Lord's blessings on every nation in this world. We need it. All of us need it. Now, folks, I'm going to go right into, I'm going to go right into the KTLA broadcast of what is going on in Los Angeles. I want everybody to pay attention. Tonight is one of the biggest and most important nights of what's going on in Los Angeles. This is going to be very telling what's happening.
Now, officials are holding a press conference to update us on the Eaton fire. Let's listen in.
Town council members who have all expressed concerns over the criminal activity in the fire-impacted areas. The sheriff announced this morning that 20 people have been arrested by deputies for looting. We cannot, and let me make it clear, we will not allow this to continue to happen. Those who evacuated have faced imaginable devastation, displacement, and loss. We must stand up against opportunists who want to prey on these victims. I will not stand by and allow an already traumatic experience to be further compounded. I stand here today with the sheriff as he makes an important announcement that will amplify our ability to protect our vulnerable communities in their time of need. My deepest thanks to our first responders who have been battling this blaze, and to the law enforcement officers who have been standing up against criminal activity to the best of their ability. I am confident that these steps we are taking today will give us extra leverage and support needed to really crack down on this important issue. To our residents, we stand with you and will continue to stand up for you. It's frustrating to me when we ask people to evacuate. The greatest fear is, am I going to come back not only to a home that's standing, but if it is standing, have people come in and burglarize my home. They shouldn't have to make that choice. So with that, I would like to introduce our Los Angeles County Sheriff, Robert Luna.
Thank you, Supervisor. Just so all of you know, her leadership's amazing. And we've been on the phone consistently with a lot of the challenges that we're facing, but we remind each other we're facing them together, and we have a lot of good things going on. So as we're working through this, I want everyone to know that the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department has officially requested the support of the California National Guard for both fires, at least in LA County, both the Palisades and Eaton fire. We are in the process and will coordinate deployments for any additional requests through the county. And just so everybody's aware, in order to request mutual aid, at least for law enforcement, in Los Angeles County, I'm the primary regional coordinator for that. So the request was made through our department, but we are working in collaboration with the Los Angeles Police Department, Chief Jim McDonald, Chief Gene Harris, who joined here to the left, and then the Chief Ramon Bautista from the Santa Monica Police Department. And then any other chiefs of police who may need additional resources as a result of these fires, we'll make sure that we do that. So for the last 24 hours or so, we have had approximately 400 National Guard members throughout the state ready to support us. And as I just stated, they will be coming in. We expect that they may be on site as soon as tonight. That may change a little bit, but they will be assisting us with traffic control and critical infrastructure protection. They will be staged throughout the Los Angeles region, and our Emergency Operations Bureau is currently working on specific missions that they will fulfill both in these affected county fire areas, the city of Pasadena, the city of Santa Monica, and the city of Los Angeles. This wouldn't be possible without the assistance of Governor Newsom, who approved this request. He's been consistently on the phone with our leadership asking what that we need, and we're very grateful for that. This effort will allow law enforcement to free up our resources and move personnel to other critical areas throughout the county, in a sense becoming a force multiplier. I'm going to switch gears a little bit now. Earlier there was a lot of questions, as there should be, about the death toll here in Los Angeles County as it specifically relates to the fire. Anytime I talk about numbers, whether they are fatalities or we're talking about potential looting arrest, I'm going to tell you something. The number just continuously fluctuates, and it's because we're still in a very chaotic scenario. And just to give you an idea, and I'm surrounded by a lot of firefighters, and the fire chief will come up and talk next, we're still working in a very fluid and active environment, meaning that there are still spot fires going on in areas, there's gas leaks. So when people are asking us for numbers of fatalities, we want to give them to you, but we have to wait until it's safe for our personnel to be able to go in there and do this right, because to some people, the death toll may just be a number. To us, on our side of the fence in public safety, each one of those numbers is a family member. We're going to have to make notifications with our partners at the coroner's office to let them know that they're not going to see their family members anymore. So just again, it's preliminary and it's absolutely going to change. But as of right now, and we stated this yesterday, we do have a confirmed 5 deaths between Palisades and the Eaton fire. But that number, again, is going to change as more information comes in and when we start to get into the damaged area. The homicide detectives for the LA County Sheriff's Department are trying to get into the locations to process the scenes, but they've been delayed for the dangerous conditions that I just spoke about. But once homicide is able to get in there, they'll do the death investigations, and then we'll have more complete information that a lot of people are asking us for. I also want to mention that our team has been working on a curfew. Our goal is to attempt to implement a curfew within the specific impacted areas around the 2 fire areas, both for Palisades and Eaton. As we work through the legal process to get that done, the goal is to try and implement it tonight. If we're not able to do that, that may happen maybe by tomorrow night. That curfew looks like it'll be from 6 p.m. To 6 a.m. Again, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. That will be the goal. We will be enforcing that. I think if most of you heard our press conference earlier today, we had a number of looting arrests throughout the entire county region. That is unacceptable behavior. Having additional resources, having the National Guard with us, which will augment those resources, will help send a stronger message, keep people out of the impacted areas so we don't continuously victimize the people who have already been victimized, who have lost their homes. So we'll continue to work on the evacuation orders as soon as we can. We'll give you more specific information, because a big legal part of that is that we have to notify our community of what it is and how that works. And just to wrap up for us, we have increased resources for our burglary and looting suppression. Unfortunately, there have been crimes out there that have been reported to us by residents who have evacuated their homes. Our deputies continue to do an amazing job of conducting humanitarian missions, and they've had many, many rescues. And I do want to stress that the majority of the people they are having to rescue out of homes and vehicles are individuals that chose not to evacuate, not only putting themselves in danger, but putting the first responders in more significant danger. So please, you hear this over and over, when somebody tells you to mandatory evacuate, please evacuate. Preliminarily, I know we're talking about 20 arrests, Preliminarily, we have about 12 arrests related to looting. And again, that number hasn't been confirmed. We're checking that. We're also getting the number of about 16, and that's at the multiple impacted areas throughout the county of Los Angeles. But we'll continue to collaborate. And as I stated earlier, I'm in constant contact with the California Office of Emergency Services. That's where we made the official request for the California National Guard. I've been in communication with the Commissioner of the California Highway Patrol. He's offered his assistance, and we've deployed with his partnership or collaboration multiple CHP officers for traffic control around the area. My last item is this. If you have any questions about current evacuation orders or warnings, or the many street closures that we have here in Los Angeles County, please visit rltnspdema.gov/emergency for updated information. And with that, I am going to now introduce the Fire Chief for Los Angeles County, best looking Fire Chief, Tony Maroney.
Thank you, Sheriff Luna and Supervisor Barger, Chair of the Board. So I'm going to limit my comments to an update for the Eaton fire here in Los Angeles County that's affecting the unincorporated community of Altadena, in addition to the cities of Pasadena, Arcadia, and Sierra Madre. We remain in unified command. However, we have added one unified command partner. CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 3 has been assigned to the incident to assist with recovery operations. Recovery operations consists of trying to coordinate all of our human remain detection teams that will be going house to house to make sure that we can account for anybody who's been killed in the fire. Also setting up community recovery centers. They're also going to be doing damage inspection coordination for us. So the Eaton fire is now estimated to be 13,690 acres. It's grown since our morning press conference because the fire is making a run towards the historic Mount Wilson area. We are still at 0% containment, but we now have a better estimation of the number of fire personnel assigned to the incident. We're now at 1,527 personnel assigned, and like this morning, additional mutual aid resources to continue to arrive to assist in the firefight. This morning we did have a firefighter suffer a significant injury in a fall. That firefighter is resting comfortably at an area hospital. He's in stable condition and he is expected to make a full recovery. We now have a confirmation that we have a potential for over 4,000 to 5,000 structures damaged or destroyed. The definition of a structure could be a single-family residence, a multifamily residence, a commercial occupancy, an outbuilding, or a vehicle. So this morning I reported 1,000. We are now reporting 4,000 to 5,000 of those types of structures. The cause of the fire remains unknown and under investigation by the Sheriff's Department along with the LA County Fire Department and the U.S. Forest Service. The reason that the Sheriff is going to be reporting fatality information, because the cause of the fire is unknown at this time, if it turns out that this was an arson fire, any death that relates from an arson fire is considered a murder, and the LASD investigates those types of crimes. The number of resources assigned to this fire siege has increased significantly, and we are in a much better posture than we were on Tuesday and Wednesday. Out-of-state resources continue to arrive in LA County, and we're appreciative of to all of our firefighters from throughout the western United States for providing assistance to Los Angeles County in our time of need. Regarding the current red flag warning condition, as I stated this morning, it's going to continue for Los Angeles County and much of Ventura County through Friday, but I think we all realize that the winds have significantly diminished after the PDS was canceled 4 p.m. yesterday. So we're hoping that the weather is going to continue to cooperate so we can get some perimeter line in on the fire. I would now like to invite up the Operations Section Chief for California Interagency Incident Management Team 5, Don Fraguglia.
Okay, good day, everybody. Like Chief said, my name is Don Fraguglia. I represent California Team 5. I'm going to give you an operational update on what's going on the fire right now as we speak. And I'm going to talk a little bit to the map behind me, just so you know, and I'm going to use a pointer since it's kind of a small map. Okay, we're going to start over here on the right flank of the fire. This is Santa Anita Canyon. We're currently actively engaged there with several hotshot crews along the road and along the canyon bottom, and we're being successful. Throughout the day today, we've had rotor wing, the opportunity to fly rotor wing and fixed wing aircraft. The winds are still pretty high up there, so it's kind of a hit or miss deal. We get the aircraft up and we get them flying, and then it's just too dangerous for the pilots and they have to come back down. So it's a constantly evaluation, constant use of that aircraft, and we're being successful when we're able to fly them. As we come along the north end of the fire there, Mount Wilson was mentioned recently in this press conference. I want everybody to know the fire has made it to Mount Wilson. We're actively engaged there, and so far no loss to any values at risk at Mount Wilson, and we're feeling good about what we have to do up there tonight to keep that site secure. As we come across the top of this fire over here towards the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, we're making good progress here as well. Values at risk obviously include the JPL among other things out there, so priority for me as an operations is this side of the fire over here is a high priority. We're concerned about the winds that are potentially coming to outflank us in the coming days. So all hands on deck. We're going to work day and night, and we expect to continue. You'll see some containment in the coming days. Thank you.
Thank you from the Operations Section Chief. So next up we'll have the Arcadia Fire Chief, Chen Swin.
Hello, my remarks will be brief. My name is Chen Swen, Fire Chief for the City of Arcadia. I just wanted to express my deepest gratitude and our deepest gratitude to our community, to our public safety partners up here, many who are standing up here just for their work on the East End. I wanted to provide an update, a website for our Arcadia residents and businesses. You can visit www.arcadia.ca.gov/2025 windstorm, or visit any of our social media platforms. Thank you.
Now we'll have Pasadena Fire Chief Chad Augustine. Chad?
Good afternoon, Chad Augustine, Pasadena Fire Chief. Thank you so much for being here today. I had the opportunity to fly this fire this morning, and the level of devastation is staggering. We're extremely thankful for all of our partner agencies here, local, state, and federal. We could not get a handle on this fire without them. And for my residents, we're committed to get back to full restoration as long as that takes. And you'll have the continued support of everybody here in order to do that. Thank you.
All right, we would listen to a news conference and update on the Eaton fire, which is now up to 13,690 acres. About 4,000 to 5,000 structures have been destroyed or damaged. And more importantly, because of some looting going on, Sheriff Robert Luna says that there is now curfew out to the area from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Yes.
But we do have developing news here in the West Hills area.
Let's get straight to Gil Lavis. He's up in Sky 5 over West Hills. Hi.
Hi, Lou and Glenn. You're looking at the starting point of this fire near Victory Boulevard and Valley Circle. This started, according to the fire department, LA City Fire got the call just after 2:30 this afternoon of the brush fire breaking out in the hills here. It made rapid growth here, a really quick moving fire in those grasses. It's already pushed into these homes here. This is going to be off of Mountain Gate Road and the 101 freeway. The backyards of these homes, and as I zoom in here, you'll see how close the fire is. They didn't have much time to evacuate here to try to get out of harm's way, but you can see how it has wrapped around this community to the north and west side of it, and the fire continues to march towards the 101 freeway at Las Virgenes. There's another little pocket of homes here that are in the path of the fire right here. This is, I believe it's called Hidden Valley area right off the close to what they're calling Malibu Canyon. But again, as I come out to a wider shot here, you can see the extent of the smoke and the embers being cast in that direction. And the concern is for these homes really close here to. Let me bring in my map and show you the names of the streets here that are impacted. The homes here off of Mountain Gate Road, just north of the 101 freeway, very close to Hidden Hills. So at this point, they're doing all they can. They're sending additional resources from LA City Fire and Ventura County Fire, as well as LA County Fire, talking about the fire itself. But so far, it does not look like any homes have been burned or damaged at this point. It is just burning around the perimeter, and hopefully there's enough brush clearance or that grass clearance around this community to save it. But it is continuing to march towards the 101 freeway at this point, and for the most part, other than some tankers and some helicopters, it is unchecked, and they're getting those fire structure protection groups inside these communities to do what they can to protect the homes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's going on. Let's go back. This was KTLA Channel 5 in Los Angeles. I want to go over to KCAL CBS in Los Angeles to talk about the fire around Mount Wilson.
Are continuing to follow some breaking news. We want to check in with Mark Liu.
Yeah, that's right, Chris and Amy. There's a situation developing at Mount Wilson, which is a major transmission center for Southern California in terms of radio relays and other telco information. The Eaton fire is now approaching the peak, Mount Wilson. This is live pictures from our camera and transmission center on the top of Mount Wilson, currently being operated by our transmission operator, Fernando Burris. He is moving that camera. But you can see the Eaton fire is still very active, moving north. Mount Wilson is approximately north of, say, the Sierra Madre area, a little bit to the northeast of Altadena. And the fire is now creeping up, approaching the peak. And we have actually seen some active flames right behind that building there. Now, that building used to house some equipment, transmission equipment for 97.1. It's unclear what is 97.1 FM. It's unclear what is in that building now. But just moments ago, we saw some flames peek up from behind the roof of that building. So we know that the Eaton fire is actually approaching the Mount Wilson peak, and it has been a major radio and television transmission spot for about the last 80 to 90 years. It was first erected in 1947 as a pioneer radio station back then. We have had our transmission equipment up near the top there since 1986. So it is really important for radio transmissions in Southern California because it is very high and it gives an exceptional viewpoint for the entire Southern California area. So it is able to broadcast and receive radio transmissions, so law enforcement, fire, and media, television stations, and radio use Mount Wilson as a major broadcast point. And you can see there is just smoke piling into this area here as the flames appear to be just below the peak there where our camera is. Now, if you come out to my screen, I can give you an idea on the map where this is. What we're looking at right here is the Eaton fire, and Mount Wilson, you can see right near the top of your screen, is here, which is an indication that the Eaton fire has now basically reached a few miles north from the last footprint. And what we're looking at is these structures here, these radio towers and buildings. Our camera that you were just seeing is right about here. So seeing that this fire is just that close coming back up the map, our camera is right about there. So we expect to see fire right along here. Now, the one bit of good news is while I've got the map here, I'm going to switch to the radar, and I can tell you that there are water dropping aircraft and Phos-Chek dropping aircraft in the area. We just saw some Phos-Chek come from one of the planes here. This is lead 53. This is the one that's calling out the direction for the Phos-Chek drops. So there are aircraft here. They just left. I believe they're down probably in this area right here. that are going to go back to the Mount Wilson area to try and save it. Let's go back to RM1 to the camera. If we can see Mount Wilson again, it's just very concerning that the fire has reached that level. There is going to be a concerted effort to try to save this equipment up here because it is critical for broadcast and reception in the Southern California area. I'm going to keep monitoring this, Chris and Amy, and let you know if they're able to stop the flames up there, but they are getting pretty close to the peak.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like whack-a-mole. You see a new thing pop up, and these fire crews work fast.
Yes, they
so,
do.
I mean, we saw them dropping that FOS check, and having the 3 helicopters and planes in that area definitely helps a lot.
The resources are there, and it's a welcome sight.
And
it's unreal, guys. Those blockhouses and antennas are very critical to police work, law enforcement, fire department, and paramedics. That's what they're used for. Yes, there are radio and television station repeater equipment up there as well, but it's critical. That mountain is very critical, as well as Santiago Mountain, very critical for communication equipment. So we hope and pray that they completely contain that fire around Mount Wilson. Now, with that all said, I've shown you now a news conference with the key players in the fires around Los Angeles County. I've shown you everything like that. Now I'm going to show you something else. Okay? First off, I want to show you the Hollywood sign. Fire is all around the Hollywood sign. The Hollywood Hills area has been on fire since last night. With that said, it continues. And it's going to continue for a while. A citizen posted this on X today. I'm hearing that people are thinking that an arsonist or arsonists are starting fires in the Valley area. Studio City, North Hollywood, and Burbank. With my own eyes, I know they are. I called 911. I hope all fires are contained or put out by tomorrow morning. Be safe. That was just one. Henry Winkler also chimed in here today. 1:35 a.m. this morning. There is an arsonist here in Los Angeles. May you be beaten, you unrecognizable. May you be beaten, you unrecognizable. The pain you have caused. That was Henry Winkler. There are many, possibly even hundreds, of celebrities that have now lost their home in the Pacific Palisades area and also over in Hollywood. It doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there at all. I want to show you another site. Last night was very poignant. Okay? This is Hollywood Hills. Okay? Someone there in Hollywood Hills said, my neighbor saw a small fire start at 5:35 p.m. above our house in Hollywood Hills on the Runyon Canyon hiking trail. I asked him what he thought of it at the moment. Arson. There's no power lines up there. Somebody started it intentionally. Do you have any idea where I'm going with this? I hope so. I hope so. There's more than that. There is also a doctor. This is a very well-respected doctor in Los Angeles. People are lighting fires in otherwise non-burning urban areas of Los Angeles. Saw this happen firsthand at 302 Pico in Santa Monica. I called it in. Fire department and police responded. Stay safe and call in any activity ASAP. You don't need more flames flying out there. We don't need any more flames flying out there. That was a very much respected doctor over in Los Angeles. I'm going to show you another one. Someone set a dumpster fire. Somebody set a dumpster fire, not only inside the dumpster, but around it, right next to a wooden power pole. They're doing it on purpose, guys. They're doing it on purpose. Now, that's not all. If that weren't enough, I have even more information than that. Now, this morning, on the Benny Johnson show, I'm going to play a few minutes of his show from this morning, and this is important. This is about LA Mayor Karen Bass. Okay? Listen to this.
Here we go.
Right now, if you need help, emergency information, resources, and shelter is available. All of this can be found at URL. Los Angeles, together is how we will get through this.
URL. You can find me at URL. Got it? She's the lady in charge. She was in Africa, by the way, vacationing, when there were already high incidents of fires and a high fire warning for her hometown. And she decided that was the time to go to Ghana. Why would she go to Ghana? Ghana is a clearly not the place you'd want to be found when your home nation is burning, but is that the bug or is that the feature for Karen Bass? You see, Karen Bass has a very strange history of wanting this country to burn, and she has terrorist associations in her background. Ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't believe it when I read this, and we checked it all out, and it's 100% true. Disgraced mayor of LA, Karen Bass, traveled to Cuba repeatedly, including with radical leftist groups that supported Castro's communist regime. She worshipped Fidel Castro, and she also praised him upon his death. Then she worked with the far left-wing militia group that bombed the United States Capitol. Yet she was allowed, through the Democrat Party organs, to rise to extreme prominence and power, be appointed to various boards, serve in Congress, and now is the mayor of LA. Here's a little bit of Karen Bass's Marxist background. I can't believe it's real, and
Hi, my name is Aveyah, and I would like you to give you...
Okay, I'm going to let that...
Here we are.
November 7, 1983. Remember this date, but first, let me introduce you to Karen Bass. Back in the 1970s, community activist Karen Bass went on at least 15 trips to Cuba, many with a group known as the Venceremos Brigade, a Marxist group started by the Castro regime to subvert American interests, weaken democracies, and spread communism around the world. Founded in 1969, the Venceremos Brigade organized trips to Cuba every year for half a century. They attracted the most radicalized and delusional segments of the American left, including overtly Maoist and pro-Soviet communist groups. In fact, a Los Angeles police investigator who infiltrated the group testified to Congress saying that to be a member of the brigade, you had to be confirmed as a Marxist-Leninist. As a brigadista and then moving up the ranks to organizer for the Venceremos Brigade, Karen Bass visited Cuba every 6 months. Their mission? To radicalize young, impressionable American leftists in terrorist tactics and guerrilla warfare. Members of the Venceremos Brigade were even taught how to make bombs.
Jesus Christ!
Karen Bass admits on her many pilgrimages.
Personally, it'll be a huge monumental tech.
Okay. As I showed you, Karen Bass is a radical. Karen Bass doesn't want anything for Los Angeles. Karen Bass wants to destroy Los Angeles and this country. Karen Bass is the one that hired the Los Angeles fire chief. And look what she did there. She gutted the fire department. She set the fire department back $23 million. Then that wasn't enough. the LGBTQ lesbian fire chief. Now, I don't have anything against LGBTQ lesbians. I don't, as long as they don't interfere in my life. But this woman, the fire chief of Los Angeles, has interfered with our lives. How is that possible? As I said last night, Karen Bass and the LA fire chief got together. They established the DEI department within the Los Angeles Fire Department, meaning they wanted to hire one more woman. They wanted to hire more LGBTQ staff. Instead of just getting rid of $23 million worth of the equipment and fire people, guess what happened? Karen Bass took money from the remaining money that she had left over, and she put together another department within the fire department, the DEI department. The DEI department was a human resource office within the fire department that is handling the hiring and training of firefighters. The hiring and training of firefighters. What are they doing? They want to limit the contact male members of the fire department have with the female population. Yes, as I've said before, there is bullying within fire and police departments. I stand as a witness to that because I've seen it. But this woman, an avowed lesbian, an avowed LGBTQ member, wanted to bring the LGBTQ agenda into the fire department. First, she gutted members of the fire department. She gutted the fire department out of $23 million. And then she took other valuable money and established an HR, human resource office within the fire department to train the firefighters in DEI. To train firefighters in DEI at least once a month. At least once a month for an hour. Each and every firefighter within Los Angeles County has to undergo DEI training. And they have to pay each of those firefighters to do it. The DEI agenda has nothing to do with firefighting at all. Not a thing. They're getting away with it. Between Karen Bass and the fire chief, some people got to go. Some people got to go. Okay? They're spending money they don't have. As I said before, Governor Newsom is behind this as well. Governor Newsom has cut budgets from various departments, and he spent like a wild man money that he doesn't have. The state of California is so bankrupt right now, it's not even funny. And they may have to declare bankruptcy because the state of California has no more money. The state of California has no more money. This is because of all the Democrat policies. This is a result of all Democrat policies. As someone earlier today on X again said, it's crazy. LA Democrats are criminally negligent. LA Democrats are criminally negligent. Then President Trump on Truth Social said this: one of the best and most beautiful parts of the United States of America is burning down to the ground. It's ashes. And Gavin Newsom should resign. Gavin Newsom should resign. This is all his fault. It absolutely is. It is all his fault. There is no reason for all this garbage. The Democrats are responsible for all this. Okay? Live free or die free. Live free and die free says this was all planned. You were absolutely right. Karen Bass, the LA mayor, was friends with guess who? Guess who she was friends with? And she almost became his presidential running mate. Joseph Biden. Joseph Robinette Biden, the President of the United States currently, was considering Karen Bass for the vice presidency. Fortunately, she turned it down. But she spent years, literally, training for radicalism in Cuba. Unreal. Unreal. This is right out of the Communist Manifesto. This is right out of the Agenda 2025. Unreal, guys. And it's still happening. It's ongoing. What are we going to do about it? Los Angeles is burning down. Los Angeles is burning down. It's arsonists, guys. This is arson fire. This is arson fire. Now, I'm just waiting. I can't wait for the Los Angeles Sheriff's Office, the Los Angeles Fire Department, and the Los Angeles Police Department to come up with their own definition or the results of their investigation on who is responsible. We've already talked about it. We have already talked about it. We know darn well who is responsible. Gavin Newsom at the top, and every other damn Democrat throughout the entire LA area. Every one of them have got to go. Every one of them have got to go. Now, I have a few more things to say in regards to the fires in Los Angeles. Mandatory evacuations have been issued for parts of Pasadena due to the Eaton fire. There's mandatory evacuations in Pasadena, California. The Eaton fire has grown to now 13,690 acres. 13,690 acres. And there is no containment on any of these fires. There's absolutely no containment on any of the fires. The brush fire in Pacific Palisades has grown to more than 17,860 acres. And it's forcing residents in the area to leave their homes. 90% of the homes in the Pacific Palisades area have been evacuated. That fire also has 0% containment. The Los Angeles Fire Department issued mandatory evacuation order for the following zones. The evacuation for the Palisades fire has expanded to East Kettner Avenue and North Mulholland Road, according to the LA Fire. The evacuation orders stretch south to Pacific Coast Highway and west to Topanga Canyon. The Eaton fire. Mandatory evacuations have been issued for parts of Pasadena due to the Eaton fire. Like I said, the Eaton fire itself has now grown to 13,680 acres. 13,680 acres. Eaton fire has 0% containment. The first evacuation order that was issued for the area east of Allen Avenue and north of Washington Boulevard and west of Sierra Madre Villa Avenue. Evacuations were later expanded to include the area north of Orange Grove, Rosemead Boulevard, east of Lake Avenue, and west of Mulholland Avenue, Michillinda, Michillinda Avenue. An evacuation center has been established at the Pasadena Civic Center at 300 East Green Street. 300 East Green Street. Evacuation center. Now, the Sunset Fire. The Sunset Fire includes everything in Hollywood. The Sunset Fire erupted last night near Hollywood Hills, near Runyon Canyon. When that erupted last night, it triggered emergency evacuations, mandatory evacuations, and people, as I said earlier this morning, complied. There was a traffic jam headed south away from Hollywood Hills. All the roads leading south, it was incredible. All you could see in 4 different major roads leading away from Hollywood Hills was red taillights. Red taillights. There was nothing white coming up north. Red taillights for as far as you could see. That was on the service streets. The Los Angeles Fire Department said that the majority of the evacuation area, the evacuation zone for the Sunset Fire, has been lifted except for the area north of Franklin Avenue, from Camino Palermo Street and the east border to North Sierra Bonita Avenue to the west. The Hearst Fire. The Hearst Fire in Sylmar has grown to 855 acres, and it's forced residents to leave their homes there. This fire is currently 10% contained. Mandatory evacuations were issued for communities north of I-210 and the I-5 and Route 14 split. Mandatory evacuations were issued for communities north of the I-210 to the I-5 and Route 14 split. Strong winds continue to drive Southern California wildfires. Flames are being pushed by Santa Ana winds still. Yes, the winds have gotten less breezy. The winds are no longer going at 100 miles an hour. But now, we've seen wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour, as little as 15 miles per hour. The winds are expected to increase overnight, producing isolated gusts that could top 100 miles per hour tonight. Usually at night, the winds die down, but in this case tonight, winds are going to ramp up and could exceed 100 miles per hour on the hilltops. Okay? And the foothills as well, for that matter, including in areas that haven't seen substantial rain in months. Los Angeles hasn't had any rain in at least 4 months. It's parched. Now, let me explain what the Santa Ana winds are doing. There's a reason the Santa Ana winds are called devil winds. Let me show you. As the winds act as an atmospheric blow dryer. An atmospheric blow dryer. They're headed out of the desert, down the foothills, out to the expanse of the Los Angeles basin and out to sea. That atmospheric blow dryer is drying out vegetation. The Santa Ana winds blow dryer is drying out vegetation, turning the vegetation on the ground level very brittle and ready to catch fire. That's why it's so important. Do not stop your car over brush. Do not throw your cigarette butts out your window. Don't do it. If you do it, you're probably going to get arrested. If you throw your cigarette butts out the window, you're going to get arrested. If you park your vehicle over a grassy area, you may get arrested. Okay? The vegetation right now is kindling. It's kindling. Just waiting for a spark. Okay? With these Santa Ana winds, it's going to get a little better tomorrow. But on Saturday night, the winds are going to increase again through Sunday. After Sunday, the winds are going to die down until midweek next week. Then the winds will increase again to full Santa Ana strength. This atmospheric blow dryer, the Santa Ana winds, brings a very long period of fire risk, and it could extend to the more populated lower hills of Los Angeles and the valleys of LA. According to Daniel Swain, a climate scientist with the University of California, Los Angeles, and the National Center for Atmospheric Research, NOAA, red flag warnings are in effect. Red flag warnings are in effect and will remain in place until at least 6 p.m. Pacific time tonight. Until at least 6 p.m. Pacific time tonight. Right now, it is 4:30 in the afternoon Pacific time. So there's at least another hour and a half to 2 hours before the red flag warnings will go down. But they may come up after tomorrow as well. Okay? Red flag warnings will remain in place until 6 p.m. today for the Malibu coast and the Santa Monica Mountains and the recreational area in the Santa Monica Mountains, the San Gabriel Valley, the San Fernando Valley, Calabasas, Santa Clarita Valley, the San Gabriel Mountains, and the I-5 corridor, and the 14 freeway corridor. The National Weather Service has warned of possible downed power lines and knocked over big rigs on the highways, trailers, and motorhomes. Very strong offshore gusts will also bring dangerous conditions off the coast of Orange and Los Angeles counties, including Catalina Island. And potential delays and turbulence could arise at local airports. Potential delays and turbulence in the air on airport runways. Now, we've had word from the power companies. Southern California Edison. They are considering preemptively cutting more power as they did on Tuesday. They're talking about now cutting back more power. Right now, the power's off to about 500,000 customers. A little less than 500,000 customers across 8 counties. Power is off to a little less than 500,000 customers. Okay, that's pretty bad. California utilities have routinely de-energized electrical lines as a precaution against weather conditions that might damage equipment and spark a fire. Let me tell you about that equipment. About 4 years ago, we had another instance like we're having now. Pacific Gas and Electric in Northern California shut down power. They shut down power for over 1 million people. And they kept it shut down for a long period of time, many, many days. It was during a hot spot in the summer, I believe, of 2019, 2020. People need their air conditioners and couldn't do anything about it. Why did Pacific Gas and Electric do that? Because Pacific Gas and Electric is an old company. They wanted to shut down their power lines because they were afraid that the power lines out in the East Los Angeles area and east of San Francisco and east of Santa Barbara would cause a problem. So they shut down their power to the power lines, to all their equipment, everywhere. What I did an investigation at the time. I found out that Pacific Gas and Electric had older equipment. All they would have had to do is spend the money prior to the Santa Ana season, spend the money and replace faulty equipment, aging equipment. They didn't want to do that. Guess what they did just right before Thanksgiving that year? They declared bankruptcy. Pacific Gas and Electric declared bankruptcy. Well, in their bankruptcy plea, they said they had to replace damaged and old equipment. They didn't do it. While they were in the final throes of the disaster and the final throes of the bankruptcy, guess what PG&E did? They gave all of the higher-ranking managers within PG&E $1 million bonuses. They gave their people $1 million bonuses, guys. This is what PG&E does. It wouldn't surprise me that California Edison's doing the same thing. Those of you in the Los Angeles area and up and down the coast of California, talk to your power companies. Go to your community town meetings, your town halls, your city council meetings, and ask for a conversation with your utility company. And ask if their equipment is aging equipment and if it should be replaced. If it should be replaced, they should not be giving $1 million bonuses to upper management. That's not the way to fight fire. Yet it has been the way for these electrical utility companies to do business. It must come to a screeching halt. Yes, people have been killed, but as I have explained before, it is my feeling after doing my own investigation that the fires that so far have hit in the Los Angeles area, Southern California, there have been arson fires. There's been at least 50 new fires started within the last 24 hours. 50 new fires started. Los Angeles County, CAL FIRE, and Los Angeles City Fire Departments have put out 50 new fires that have started within the last 24 hours. Arson fires. Arson fires. Incredible. Now, when I first started doing my investigation last night, as I said, I was up to about 3 o'clock this morning. And I found that a lot of these fires have been arson related, if not all of them. If the sheriff's office, the police department, and the LA Fire Department come by and say anything other than arson, they are going to be lying through their teeth. line through their teeth. Does anybody have any questions for me? John Francis is saying a communist. Pretty much. Pretty much. That's what California is. It's a communist state with a communist governor, a communist mayor, and a communist fire chief. They're all tied together. They're all tied up together. It's incredible what I found out. Does anybody have any questions for me? John Francis says her cup of abominations is full. I agree. Yes, America appears to be a Babylon, just waiting to be completely destroyed. I honestly can't wait for President Trump to assume office in another 9 days. Hurricane Heather says in the chat it sounds so much worse hearing about it loud. I don't know any other way to talk about it. This is appalling. This is appalling. Why am I talking about it on this channel? Because this is an emergency. It's an emergency for over 500,000 people that have now evacuated Los Angeles. 500,000 people have evacuated Los Angeles in the past 3 days. Incredible. Incredible. At least 50,000 people have fled because of the fire. 50,000 people have fled as a result of the fire. And there's more leaving as we speak. Something's got to be done. Folks, why did I talk about it tonight? I need your help in getting rid of these people. I'm going to raise all kinds of hell. I'm going to raise all kinds of hell because I used to live in Southern California. I used to visit Los Angeles. There are a lot of things in Los Angeles that I like, but something's got to be done. And in my opinion, I'm going to do all that I can as a representative of yours. But I'm going to need your help as well. You need to call, if you live in Southern California, you need to call your city councilman. You need to call your board of supervisors. You need to call your police chief. You need to call your sheriff's office and tell them you're not satisfied, that you want answers about these fires, that you want people prosecuted, that you want people to resign their jobs, especially Karen Bass. If you live in Los Angeles, you can recall Karen Bass. You need to start a recall petition. On that petition, it must list all the charges that I've already shown you tonight. Her affiliation with communist people in Cuba. Her being trained as a terrorist in Cuba. And her affiliation with the Democrat Terrorist Party. The Democrat Terrorist Party. These people got to go. The fire chief must go away. Period. Neither of these women deserve to be in the positions they're in. They needed to be prosecuted within the fullest extent of the law. And I've detailed all the crimes here tonight. Again, I'm going to ask you, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? I've been watching this happen. It's played out. And I've made sure I covered it because this is an emergency. This constitutes an emergency. We talk about emergencies. I've been online when we've had huge blasts, huge explosions at oil and gas refineries. I've been there. I've been on the air when we found out that some terrorists were plotting against our power stations here in North Carolina. Proven. Proven. They targeted our power stations. Unfortunately, they got caught. Now I'm asking all of you to help us get rid of the mayor and the fire chief of Los Angeles. They gotta go. They gotta go. President Trump has already said what he's going to do on day one. His executive orders have been lined up already. All ready for him to sign them, one after the other after the other. He's going to make sure that our southern border is shut down. He and John Holman are going to make sure that the southern border is shut down. Second, they're going to go after and arrest every terrorist, every gang member that's come across this border to cause problems. Yes, they've already detailed where these people are. And they're going to go after them on day one, January 20th. They're going to detail these people out of this country. Throw them out of this country. Number one, we don't want them here. Number two, they don't belong here. Number three, they've committed crimes against this country. If you want to come into this country, you cannot be committing crimes. You cannot be violating our laws. You cannot be violating anybody else as well. You cannot be trafficking human beings. You will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I promise you that. Again, I'm going to ask you, do you have any questions? Yes, I know, John Francis, Satan only has a very short time left. Absolutely. Charlene Mail is asking, the northern border entry is functioning well. Underground tunnels from Canada are to blame. Underground tunnels at the southern border are also to blame. Fact. I assisted Customs Border Protection in San Diego in blowing one of those tunnels up. We blew the tunnel all to heck. The ground dropped when that tunnel blew up. The ground between Mexico and the United States dropped. But the problem with that, we may destroy one of their tunnels, but there's 5 or 6 more tunnels that the cartel is using. And the cartel is using tunneling equipment. The cartel is also using old mine cars, dragging the mine cars up and down the entire tunnel, dropping the dirt. Incredible, huh? That's what's going on. John Francis is asking, do you think they're going to ignite? Yes, I absolutely do. It's very possible that we have already started World War III. If they do anything to Trump, one of my worst nightmares right now, and I've dreamt about it, and I've had the feelings for over 2 or 3 weeks now, since I found out about what they were doing to keep Trump from obtaining the presidency. Shooting at him last July 13th. 2 weeks later, while he's on a golf course in Florida, another terrorist tried to take him out. This time we caught him. We didn't shoot him, we caught him. He's in a state penitentiary in Florida. Never to see the light of day out of the penitentiary. Ever. I heard there was one other attempted assassination, but I don't have any information about it. However, I do believe there are other people that are trying to assassinate him. And I do believe the Democratic Communist Party of America is going to make sure in their own mind that he is not inaugurated as the 39th or 47th president. They're going to do whatever they can to make it stop. Whether it's attack his inauguration or once he's inaugurated, to attack his reviewing stand down on the parade route. My advice to President Trump is to cancel the parade. Cancel the parade. Further, my advice to President Trump is to inaugurate himself another way, either over at Mar-a-Lago or inside the Capitol down in one of the underground tunnels. That way we'll still see it on video camera, on the news, but this, at least this way, he becomes president. And the Democrat communists can't stop him. Linda Covington's here in the chat saying spiritual warfare is upon us. Yes, it surely is. My question to you is, do you all understand what spiritual warfare is about and why we're fighting a spiritual war? I've got answers, but I'm asking you all. 1, why are we in a spiritual war? Number 2, how do we get there? How did we get there? Ann Pickering, I want to welcome back. I haven't seen Ann in a very long time. And Pickering says it is terrible what is going on all over the world. And now America. I hope they find the people that are involved and they get their comeuppance. Absolutely, I agree. How did this World War III happen? How did this spiritual war start? What caused it? My buddy Surgery, who's one of my mods here, Surgery answered it. Number 1, by being weak, not standing up for the truth, not standing up for what is right, not going to church, not reading your scriptures, and letting these idiots into power. Letting these idiots into power. If we had been reading our scriptures, if we had been going to church, if we had been standing for the right, we would not have elected these perverts, these idiots, these child molesters, and these terrorists into our country. It would not have happened. Good people don't make these kinds of mistakes. Good, honest, God-fearing people don't make these kinds of mistakes. What are we going to do about it? Number one, we just elected a brand new Senate of Representatives for the 119th Congress. Just went through an election back in November 5th. There are still bad people in charge in Washington, D.C. They need to go away. They are going to be hounded. Both Republican bad guys and Democrat bad guys. They are going to be hounded. They're going to be forced to do what is right. But there's still going to be evil here in America. And there's going to be still evil throughout this world. Because the evil people are not just in America. They are around this world. And we need to do something about it. We need to do something about it. Sturgis says he's hearing reports right now that the Golden Gate Bridge is shut down. I've not heard anything yet. I've not heard anything yet. Hold on, let me check something. According to TikTok, it's coming from TikTok. Is the Golden Gate Bridge disappearing? Has it been taken down? Before you get concerned, let's lead with the facts. The Golden Gate Bridge is fine. It has not disappeared. It's not going anywhere. Nothing is going on with it, despite what you may have heard on social media. A woman on a plane said, quote, "The pilot has let us have one last glimpse of the Golden Gate Bridge." She said that she posted on a TikTok video. She posted it Monday on a TikTok video. She took a picture out of the plane's window, stamped over the view of the city, the coast and the bay. She added POV. The pilot just told the whole plane to look out the window immediately. The 10-second clip was set to the dramatic sounds of the Labyrinth song Forever. By today, the post has been viewed over 5.3 million times. Not unexpected for a celebration of a beloved landmark. But things got quickly confused in the comments, demonstrating a classic spread of misinformation on the internet. One glass glimpse of the Golden Gate Bridge. Is something happening to it? So far, nothing's happened to the bridge. course, the pilot was merely pointing out the Golden Gate Bridge. Just like one time when I was flying over the Grand Canyon. The pilot said, "Everyone over on the right-hand side of the plane, look out your windows. You're going to get a quick glimpse of the Grand Canyon." He didn't say the Grand Canyon was going away. But for the passengers on the eastbound flight, you didn't know what he was going to say. Neither did the commenters on the TikTok. Wait, guys, didn't see this bridge collapse? There were cars on it. It was all over the news. I think it was a different bridge someone else wrote. Quickly, the misinformation spread beyond the post comment section. A man posted on TikTok a video asking if something was happening with the Golden Gate Bridge, citing the social media TikTok video. Now, citing an unnamed movie with John Cena and Gematria, Gematria, a Hebrew numerology system that has been utilized in an app known to fuel right-wing conspiracy theorists. The San Francisco. Be sure you wear some flowers in your hair. Scott McKenzie wrote in a song many years ago. The algorithm pushed these videos to other people's feeds, and the momentum of the rumor spread like wildfire. Others posted speculation about what on earth could be going on with the Golden Gate Bridge, saying how much they would miss it if it was gone. The TikTok's algorithm compromises a litany of interactions. Likes, comments, engagement time, follows, interests, and locations. It pushed the videos to the feeds of people in San Francisco and others who routinely like posts about the city. It also seemed to reach the conspiracy curious, according to a 2018 study published by Science. Lies spread faster on the internet than the truth. Watchdogs have pressured social media platforms to mitigate such misinformation, but the appetite for fighting it has waned. The stark example of the trend that came this week when CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced the decision to end fact-checking on Instagram, Facebook, and other meta platforms. Yeah, Zuckerberg announced that the fact-checkers were going away. My question is to YouTube. We're still here on YouTube, even though YouTube keeps trying to shut my programs down, as was evidenced this morning. YouTube, are you going to stop fact-checking us? Stop fact-checking your creators here. We're already doing our job. We're already doing our jobs. Leave us creators alone. I don't put out crap. I don't put out crap. I just showed you my own short investigation of what happened with the Golden Gate Bridge. It's false information. False information. Okay? As John Francis said in the chat, men's hearts run cold. I asked a little bit ago, why is that? The answer is very clear. We're not reading our scriptures. We're not praying. We're not going to church. We're not doing the things that the Lord would have us do. We made covenants with the Lord. Each of us made a covenant with the Lord before we came here. We lived in the heavens with our Heavenly Father before we came here. We all wanted to come to this earth. We made a covenant with Heavenly Father that if He and Jesus allowed us to come to this earth, we would do whatever it took to find Christ again here on this earth once we got here. And once we did, that we'd seek Jesus Christ out. We would follow His commandments. We'd do the things that Christ would have us do, including standing up for what's right and loving our neighbor as we do ourselves. We made those covenants with our Heavenly Father. My question still is, and always will be, what are you doing with your covenant to your Heavenly Father? What are each one of us doing? Are we keeping the commandments? Are we praying? Are we reading the scriptures? What is it going to take? What is it going to take? If you knew that Jesus Christ was coming back to earth tonight, what would you do? What would you do? And Pickering says, I hope they get it all sorted out. I agree. But again, what are each of us going to do? We can believe rumors. We can research the rumors and prove they're not true. We can pass those truths on to other people to make sure these false stories don't get any more traction. It's incredible. Brothers and sisters, I told you about a book that I've had in my home for many years. It's called Standing for Something by Gordon B. Hinckley. I highly recommend this book. As Stephen R. Covey wrote, remember Stephen Covey? The man that gave us planners and ways to make our lives better? Yes, that's Stephen Covey. Stephen Covey said, I absolutely love this book. Every chapter breathes profound wisdom, insight, and optimism, articulated by one of the most inspired leaders of our day, Gordon Hinckley. These 10 timeless virtues, if lived, will literally heal our hearts, our homes, our country, and our world. We need to stand for something, brothers and sisters. We need to stand for something. We need to start doing what the Lord has asked us to do. Plain and simple. We need to also start putting our treasures in heaven. Making sure we have a huge stack of treasures in heaven. Don't worry about what this earth life has for us. We can continue being best friends. We can continue setting an example. We can continue talking to people about Jesus Christ. So everybody has a chance to know who Jesus Christ is and accept His gospel. That's for us to do. But how many of us are willing to do it? How many of us are going to love other people as much as we love ourselves? How many of us are going to pray with real meaning as Jesus Christ taught us how to do? How many of us are going to read the scriptures? I do every day. It's one of the best ways to start and end my night is by reading in the scriptures. I bear you my testimony that God lives. He and Jesus Christ hear and answer our prayers. Let's start doing what we need to do to heal ourselves, heal our hearts, heal our families. Families are the key to our salvation. Families are the key to our salvation. No, we can't take money with us, but we can certainly bring our families and teach our families the gospel of Jesus Christ, so that when our lives are over, we can stand before God at the judgment bar of Jesus Christ, where I hope to hear the words, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Enter into my kingdom." I hope those words will resonate with each one of us. I hope those words will resonate with each one of us. I've given you a lot of information. No, we have not talked about earthquakes. Tomorrow we will briefly talk about earthquakes, but I also want to talk about emergency preparedness. We're going to be talking about emergency preparedness tomorrow night. Bring your questions. Bring your questions, because I will have answers for you. I will have answers for you. That I promise you. Don't listen to deception. Arnold Smith said here in the chat that deception is everywhere. He's right. Be careful to not allow ourselves to fall into that pit and be deceived. Don't do it. Don't do it. We may not be able to trust any man around us. I love my wife. Rarely has my wife ever let me down. She's also a truth seeker. She gives me information to show you, as I have done tonight. I love my wife. I trust her, and she trusts me. And we trust you as well. May God bless you this night and always. If you haven't started praying, do so. If you have not already started praying, do so. Pray to God. Pray to God that your lives will be changed. Pray to God that you'll feel His Spirit. Read the Scriptures. Read the Scriptures, for in them you'll find eternal life, which is the greatest of all gifts of God. Read the Scriptures, pray, and be believing, and all things will work together for your good, if you walk uprightly before God. I love you, brothers and sisters. I love you more than anything else. That's why I'm here. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe that we can heal each other and heal our towns, our cities, and heal the world. Each one of us can do that. But we have to unite together. Brothers and sisters, while I'm still here, please share this program like wildfire. Share this program everywhere that you know. Share it on your social media. Tell your families what we've talked about tonight. Tell your families and extended family members what we talked about tonight. Tell your neighbors and friends what we talked about tonight. Tell the people you associate with on social media about this program. about what we talked about tonight, and also the people you work with. There is nothing embarrassing about what we talked about today. Nothing. And everybody needs to hear it. Share this program, brothers and sisters. You'll be blessed for doing it. Now, Monday through Friday, we come here between 6 and 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Saturdays, we take off. We can still be back on this program later tonight or in the morning. If there was sufficient information to give you, I'll be back on there tonight or in the morning. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. for another episode of the Emergency Management Associates. We take Saturdays off, but I have been known to be still here on Saturdays as well. If there's sufficient information that I believe it's emergency type information to be here on Saturday. On Sunday, I teach a Sunday school class here. Come follow me, the Savior said. I would love to have you here in our Sunday school class this Sunday between 12 and 12:30 Eastern Time. I'll be here. I'll be here. If anything else happens, I'll be here before or after that. I love you. That's why I do this. I give a darn. I give a darn. Please share this far and wide. Before I came on the air, I noticed that we had 1,172 people that had joined here as subscribers to our program. Please subscribe to this program. And also, one of the reasons I want you to talk about this program to everybody you know is to get them to come here and watch this program as well and want to subscribe to our program again. We'd appreciate that ever so much. Now may God bless you. May God be with you this day and always. God be with you until we meet again. I care, guys. I care about you. I hope you have a good night and a better tomorrow. We shall see you on the other side. Good night, everybody. Much love. Take care. If you want to support our program, you can support our program by sending us a letter to our address that's going across the bottom of your screen. You can also support this program by going over to the PayPal locations. We have two of them, two PayPal addresses or our Venmo address, and send us a donation. And you can also join this channel here on YouTube and become a member of our YouTube channel. We'd appreciate it. Until then, God be with you until we meet again. We will see you on the other side. Good night, everybody. Much love.